Hi.
Hello.
What's up?
Welcome to Does It Suck with Nick, Amber, and Lance.
Actually, it's Dan Peel. Hi, Dan Peel. Sales. Would you like to buy some soap?
No, it's Lance. It's Lance. Please stop.
It's the brother of Jordan Peele, Dan Peele.
Yep. Don't you see the results?
Anyways, this week we watched the 1985 animated feature Vampire Hunter D.
Which I don't think I've seen since middle school. Maybe it was in high school.
Oh, I've watched it since college. At least once.
I don't know that I might have had this one on VHS. I don't know if I did or not.
Well, I know I had it on DVD.
Yeah, I know I've got Bloodlust, the sequel, on DVD. I don't remember if I have the original one. That's one that used to come on Sci-Fi Channel like way back in the day.
Saturday morning anime.
I had this one on a VHS that was ripped from someone sending it from Japan.
Yeah.
With no subtitles and no dub.
Which, ironically enough, you hadn't seen.
Well, I mean, back then...
You kind of collect what you get.
Well, it was like back then when you went to the little anime thing, you would give them a VHS tape and you would pick some stuff. Mm-hmm. And they would always say, is there, that's not enough. Is there other stuff that you would like? And it's like, just fill it up.
Yeah.
Find dope shit that you like and just fill it up. And then if I had like something that was an hour, then I would ask other people, what's other good stuff? Well, we like this and we like this and we like this. I think it happened around the time I watched Akira for the first time. Someone was like, oh my God, it's so good. Akira's so good. Shit was boring. Like, it was slow. And the only reason it was boring is because it was not translated. And that story is convoluted as fuck. So I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. So back in the day when you don't get to know what they're saying, you just have to assume.
It was pretty. It was very pretty, but God, it was a slog getting through that movie.
So, anyways, he was a virgin to the film. I'm not very good with segues tonight. Sorry, guys.
It's fine. Fine.
So, if you've never been with us before, we're going to give you 2 ratings for this film. One is our traditional 0 to 10, with 5 being the even middle of that score. Right here shortly, and at the very end, we will tell you if it does indeed suck.
Yeah, it either sucks or it bites or somewhere in between.
Well, if it sucks, it's good. I know it's confusing, but if it sucks, it's good because vampires suck blood.
Vampires suck.
Yeah.
But vampires also bite, but that's kind of, it's stupid. So, that's why we give our score, our numerical scores, because the actual score at the end doesn't make any sense.
Yes, but it's fun.
It's fun. It's dumb fun.
Hey, it's our channel. We'll amuse ourselves how we like.
Exactly.
It amuses us, therefore it stays.
So, without further ado, Lance.
Yes.
On a scale of 0 to 10, what would you give Vampire Hunter D?
I'd give this movie a flat 5.
Ah, so close. So close.
Yay.
So close.
Okay. Yeah, it was good. I'm sure back then the animation on that would have blown my fucking mind. But it's slow. Like I like the hero that's like broody, broody and stoic, but like Jesus Christ, it was good. But it wasn't amazing. So, yeah.
All right.
How about you, Nick?
Yes, Nick. What would you give it?
I think I'm also going to give this one a 5.
Damn it, I should have changed it. Should have changed it. I was thinking, fine, no, I'll be generous. I'll let him round it up.
I mean, it's pretty good. There's a lot of just quiet time.
It is a very quiet film. For an hour and 20 minutes, I think there might be 30 minutes of dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And just a lot of stuff that doesn't really amount to much of anything.
Yeah.
And it was very dark.
Yeah.
To the point where we're watching a scene and I'm like, I think that's Dee's face, and it's surrounded by black.
And then the white, like sometimes there was like just blinding white light in the background, which was like, I'm sure they're trying to go for a silhouette here, but I can't see anything.
Yeah, there was plenty of scenes when like someone busted out like a flashy object, and I'm kind of watching like this thing, and I'm like, okay, well you're blinding me now.
I don't know if that was intentional or if that's just our old age.
Am I a vampire too?
Well, we already established, I think, before Nick is probably a vampire.
Yeah, that movie, if they were to put the DVD out now, it would have seizure warnings on it, I guarantee you.
Yeah,
definitely.
It needs them at the beginning.
No shit.
Amber, what about you?
How about you?
So, above board, love this film. Mm-hmm. I do. I've always very much enjoyed it. It's one of the first, I think, vampire protagonist style films I've ever saw, and I remember being probably 10, maybe have just turned 11, watching Saturday morning anime. from the cot I was sleeping on at the time because we had guests at our house and watching it in the frog of our home.
Yeah,
So-
Colin.
No, it wasn't Colin.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry.
Yeah, Uncle Frank.
There's no Uncle Frank.
know that.
I'm not letting you drag random strangers in the
And I'm not
mud.
calling out your family members by name. They'd be like,
Except for my
Lawrence.
brother. Except for my brother. You actually called out my brother by name.
No, he can eat it.
So anyways, I would probably give this a solid 7.
Ah, that was close.
The kid is hot tonight. So,
The kid is hot tonight. The kid is hot tonight. You knew it needed air horn there because I was going to put it there.
so I want to say just real quick before we go much further. So this movie
Yep.
was directed by Toyo Ishida. When it started, I was kind of looking at the animated style, and I was like, this looks a lot like the anime style of like Fist of the North Star. Sure enough, he's known for doing Fist of the North Star, Guyver, which is like an underground classic ever since they put out the pictures of the live action version of Mark Hamill turning into a giant cockroach.
Is it underground?
I don't know. I mean,
I think an
I think-
animated circle.
Maybe.
Animation.
I thought that one came on a sci-fi as well.
Probably.
probably.
Because I've seen it, but I don't remember if I saw the live action version of it. If I saw the animated one.
I saw the live action version. It wasn't horrible.
But anyways, continue.
He's also known for Space Battleship Yamato and Galaxy Express 999.
Galaxy Express 39.
39. Sorry.
That one also came on sci-fi.
Which I think also those people were like the Toei people that also did Interstellar 5555.
Yeah, I was going to say that if he just did all that stuff, that means he did Interstellar 5 or 4 or 5. I'm assuming.
Maybe, I don't know, but
No, I'm assuming the name of it because the people who did Galaxy Express 39 did Interstellar 4 5.
well, the dude has a lot of stuff under his belt. So,
Which I guess if you've not seen Interstellar 4 5, watch it.
have you not seen it?
No, I'm telling them.
Oh, you have seen it.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's good.
that's gonna be our 200th episode or something like that. Then, 'cause-
It's not a movie. It's the Daft Punk CD with animation on it.
Yeah.
it's kind of a movie.
It's not like there's a story. It's visual, and then the music kind of
Tells the story.
tells like what's going. It gives you the mood of what's going on in this particular thing.
It's an actual space opera.
Huh.
She's smart.
So, we're going to go ahead and jump right into spoilers. So, if you've not watched the 1985 Vampire Hunter D, I recommend that you probably go out and check it out if you want to not be spoiled on this film.
Yeah, I was looking up to see where you could watch it, but apparently it's search on Amazon for the Blu-ray and DVD. So I think physical media it is.
You know, maybe check places like Crunchyroll or other anime streamers. They may have them.
Usually it says Crunchyroll if it's there.
I wouldn't know. I don't really
know.
look
I
up.
don't have Crunchyroll. So.
I don't either.
If you know any Gen Xers that have like their own Plex account, it might be there.
Or find some Zennial. No, it's not Zennials. We're I guess we are with the X. That's what that's pronounced, right? We're closer to Zennials.
Yeah.
Find some of those who've got a DVD collection. Be like, can I borrow your Vampire Hunter D Blu-ray? I'm like, how do you know I got that?
Oh.
I think it's also for free on YouTube right now too.
It might be.
But I mean,
But you can probably find it somewhere. But
Track
you
it
know,
down.
if you're
think
into anime, you might like it.
Yeah, I think if you like anime, I think it's worth a watch. If you're not into anime, you can probably leave this one alone.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking weird.
It is weird, and we're going to get into why.
Yes.
So that was your spoiler warning, and now we're 10,000 years at least in the future, and but mutants have taken, humans have begun to mutate, and vampire lords known as aristocrats are becoming.
Damn it! I was drinking. I was going to do that.
Vampire lords known as aristocrats have begun to spring up and are basically controlling the countrysides.
Yeah.
And we are immediately greeted with the most lackluster of animated heroines in my knowledge.
Yeah, Doris sucks.
I despise Doris.
it's pretty boring.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, she was a good shot at the beginning, and then she got bit by a vampire, and then just sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
That means she's good?
See what I was doing there? Okay.
yeah. But oh man, I've never liked Doris. I mean, it's she's clearly your intentional. Let's make her kind of wear the sluttiest little outfit.
She's wearing like a blouse
and panties.
and panties. That's it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you don't have to wear pants. I mean, at least Ramika, wasn't that her name? The Countess's daughter, Ramika?
Ranica?
Something like that.
Yeah, Ranica.
But she at least just had a high slit in her dress. So, it's still kind of, appropriately slutty. But, she's at least wearing full clothing. Because that's pretty much your extent of female characters if you don't include the witch. Or the snake-headed monster.
Yeah, what's the witch, actually witch, or was it? Because it kind of sounded like a male voice, but kind of that androgynous...
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorcerer,
the little...
witchy look to him that I'm like...
Witch doctor kind of creature. I don't know. But,
Okay. So, good memory. Her name was Lamika. Or Lamika.
It was an R in the
It was an R in the Japanese.
Subtitles.
Yeah, which is why it's like, it doesn't seem right. I thought it was an L, but...
Yeah.
So, but, R's and L's.
It's the same letter.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to with Dan Peel.
Yeah.
Dan Peel.
It's
Nice to meet you.
Dan Peer.
Oh, well, so Dampier.
Dan Peter.
Dampier.
Dan Peter.
Dan Peel. Dan Peel.
Yeah. So if you're a translator who's like, here, translate this for us, and you hear the word Dan Peter, and you're like looking through your book, you're like, what the fuck is a Dan Peeler? I'm just gonna write Dan Peel.
Here's my card.
Dan.
But
Oh yeah,
basically,
we had Doris. What was her name? Doris
Ron,
Doris Ron, and
her brother Don Ron.
Don Ron.
Because she introduced herself as Doris Ron, R-A-N, and then her brother's name is Dan.
Yeah.
So that means
he would
by proxy his name would be Dan Rand.
Dan Rand.
Okay. They got real original on these.
Right? The names aren't the greatest in this, but
I think the best name is Magnus Lee.
He does have a cool name.
And
the Count has a really awesome
and
name.
everyone else's name? Not
but he was 10,000 years old, so he was before they decided to be like crappy about naming people.
Doris and what was what was the other guy's name?
Magnus.
Ray?
I'm not thinking of the wrestler guy. Because it's Greco.
Gorham.
Greco-Roman wrestling is how I remember his name.
Greco, the guy who was the mayor's son?
Yeah, the not quite Gaston.
Yeah.
Oh, the pink tornado hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of the frou-frou.
Greco, yeah, that was Greco.
Yeah.
It was really weird for me watching it in Japanese because every other time I've ever watched this, it was in English dubbed.
Which is why I wanted to watch it in Japanese this time. I'd only ever seen it in English.
And it translated like pretty much what I remembered, but it was weird hearing the different voices because I remember Greco sounding much slimier, and I remembered Ray being a little bit more shrill in the voice and everything. I felt his voice was probably as intimidating in both, but when he was going in kind of like the sadism aspects towards the end, it was a little bit better.
Then they kept what you heard from your youth in when he laughed, because he was like like
That might have been.
that super high laugh that like hurts the ears.
But
we also needed the Japanese mistress laugh or whatever too. That kind of.
You have to cover the mouth too, like.
Yeah, it's got you got to hide mouth.
He did. But for the most part, I think what I love most about the anime is the visuals.
Yeah.
It's when you can see them, because obviously my version of the DVD is not digitally remastered and therefore
it's dark as fuck.
Which it's intended to be a dark horror fantasy. So I think it was intentionally given like some dark overtones, but it really could use the digitally remastered to bring up some of the scenes because it's really hard to see things at time.
And more sci-fi in it that I remembered.
Yeah.
I don't remember the shooting of guns.
I did.
Or the long labyrinthian steel walls that were like that was his castle. Like they were just like these
or like
sheer walls.
Or like the bug zapper things that were set up as crosses to keep your vampires away. So it's a cross, but also it's electrified. So it's good to know that 10,000 years from now, apparently the cross still exists.
Yeah, but like the visuals for like the just the Count looked great.
Yeah.
D looked great. I did not really like Doris's or Lamika's designs. Lamika's was a little bit better, but
It was that early style in which the women had gigantic heads.
Yeah, it's
Like the forehead part up is gigantic, and then you've got all the face down.
yeah,
down
it
to
was,
the bottom.
and I think that's one of the things. Maybe it's like Uncanny Valley kind of stuff where it just doesn't look right. So, but like the male characters, they all look pretty good for the most part. The creature designs were fantastic.
Yeah. Some of
Except for Voldo. I didn't like
His name was Gimlet,
yeah, he's not Gimli, he's Gimlet.
and he was stuck to a tree.
that guy was straight up Voldo. But
Stuck to the tree like a fillet.
yeah.
But, I mean, like, a lot of it's kind of weird and predictable at times. Like, oh, the doctor showed up, and she didn't look at him close enough.
Yeah. Well, apparently he didn't have the holes in his neck until he's like, ah, and vamped out.
I do want to say, I absolutely loved Lance's reaction when the little green guy showed up the first time, and the spiders came jumping out. That seemed utterly horrifying to you.
I don't even remember what I said. I just remember it was like,
Oh, hell no, or something like that.
well, it was like giant with a green thing on his thing. There's spiders in its back.
Yeah, so D is preoccupied, so it's time to kidnap the lady. And how do you do that? You send in your giant, have his face smashed through the window, open up his mouth and spit out a little green man, and the little green man like opens up his back and spits out spiders.
Yeah, there was so much Inception grossness going on there. It was crazy.
That was one of the things that, like, in a rewatch I started noticing is like the pattern of everything going on with Doris was very cyclical. Separate her from the hunter. He's distracted. She's being kidnapped or taken away to a different location, and at the last second he saves her and brings her back. Until he doesn't, and because of the last one, and he has to go save her from the castle. Yeah. You know, so but it's like 3 times, like every night they manage to separate him. It's like, why are they so dumb to keep letting Dan out? Or why do you just not go anywhere until you handle this, you know?
I've brought your brother back. Stay here. He ran off. Shit.
I mean, you don't.
I'm going to go get your sister now. I've brought your sister back. Stay here. I can't find my brother. Stay in the fucking house. Jesus.
Don't let anybody in.
You realize I'm running into a vampire's castle to save you assholes, right?
It's like herding cats. Be like, okay, you stay in this room.
No.
Come on, stay here. Stay here. Vampires outside, dipshit.
Right.
That's true. I didn't think about it quite that way. Ugh.
And another thing that, like, and I never liked this either, was like the suddenly everyone's like, oh, Dee and Doris are in love. Like, it's like they've known each other less than like 12 hours, and everyone's like, oh, you love her. It's like, no.
That's why we're watching
you're a job.
Watching the one scene with the doctor, like before he got like vamped or whatever, and he's just kind of like, don't worry, like Dee will be back. You're in love with them, aren't you? It's like she didn't say anything.
Well, I mean, you saw how surprised she was by the revel.
It's like, why would you say that to me?
I mean, all we knew was she was willing to whore herself out to pay for his services.
Yeah, it's like save me from him, and I'll give
you
like
money.
two square meals a day. You can bone me, and you know whatever. It's like, okay. I mean,
Can you make it 1 meal a day? Just wait. Am I losing out on that deal? No, it was a good movie. It's just it's showing its age.
Oh no, I won't disagree with that.
Yeah, when you compare it against some of the stuff these days, you could definitely see that it was a classic. You know that it was popular with young men because there's titties all over this movie. Even though, yeah, well, I mean, you know, Hydra ladies, and then you
get Doris's boob.
Doris
twice.
Yeah,
you get a full shower scene where she's completely nude. And then you get the
doctor grabbing the cross off,
and her boob goes popping out for no good reason, and lots of panty shots with her.
Oh yeah,
lots of panty shots. If you wanted a panty shot, just wait 3 minutes. There's a panty shot.
All I'm saying is that when that came out back in the day, when that boob popped out for the first time, every teenage boy was like, "Yeah, I'm watching it right now. Yeah, I got the burnt DVD or the burnt VHS to me just the other day. I mean, it's okay." I think, oh, titty, get it. Go to Best get this movie down, titty. Like that was.
And then there's also just the fact that like Magnus near the end, like Ray's like, oh, I'm gonna stun you with this little thing. He's like, ah, fuck you, and he smacks him around telekinesis and like peels his face away and like explodes his head.
It's very gory in the way
that shit was dope back in the day.
It was dope, and you could see like the way that guy's head went up. The Hokuto no Ken, Fist of the North Star, like style. It was definitely.
Yeah, and then you brought up you also brought up the Hydra women, the witches of East of
Quick.
East Witch or something like that. No, they gave a specific name and I don't remember what it is.
There's snake ladies and
The snake ladies of East Witch or something like that.
kind of snakes, kind of ladies, and sometimes
And basically they drain people dry of their life forces.
And most people last 5 minutes, but D lasts to 12 hours.
Life forces.
Yeah, and then so that was weird. Like he's getting drained by the witch. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go send my people out to capture Doris. And then she's like, oh, check this out, Doris. Look, he's getting sucked on for 12 hours. He's gonna be dead soon. And then at that point in time, D was just like, fuck this, and then decided to break free.
Yeah, apparently he could have done that at any point.
Yeah, so he would have been fine to do. I guess he was waiting for them to get so tired of sucking his life force that they got weak.
Yeah.
It sounds logical to me.
He's just kind of like chilling, like, fuck it. And then he started biting.
Yeah.
His jokes die. Yeah, no, it's. I don't know. It would.
Apparently feeding off him was orgasmic too, from the way they were talking.
Yeah. And somehow it just got him more power. He just bit the one thing, and then all of a sudden he was back up to I'm killing everything in this castle.
Well, I mean, and here's a big spoiler if you've never seen it. I think that has to do with Dee's age. You've watched it.
Oh, okay.
Dee's age.
Dee's
age. Sorry.
Because they basically don't confirm it completely, but basically hugely hint that he is the half human, half vampire offspring of Dracula, who they consider the progenitor of their family.
The ancient one.
They call him the ancient god, or ancient god in the Japanese version, but I believe that the English dubbed version, they just say the progenitor of their family. Like, he was the origination of the House of Lee. Okay. He was like the first of the House of Lee. But he's basically, if he's Dracula's spawn, then he has lived longer than Magnus.
Yeah.
And by being younger than Magnus, then he has untapped number of power, probably.
He's also from like the...
Before the mutated world.
Before the blood starts to get super diluted, he's like right near the top.
Well, I mean, how do you know that? Like, Dracula could have been slinging that thing all the way through the ages.
We don't.
We don't. We just have what little bit they give of that back lore, that hint.
Yeah, they call him the ancient god, and then like, oh my god, you look just like him.
Yeah.
Although when they show that the painting,
he does not look anything like him.
He looked like Balky from Perfect Strangers.
Hello, cousin laddie.
Don't you think so? Like, well, he showed it. Like, oh, Balky. Like, I don't know if you guys heard me or not.
No, I didn't. I didn't hear you say that.
It showed his photo twice. I'm like, oh, Balky.
I think I heard you say something, but I must have missed exactly what. But that's hilarious.
Cousin laddie.
And then I think the only thing that like I want to bring up was all the jokes about Dee's sword at the very end.
Yeah, it's because D stabbed him, and then like,
the castle crumbled.
Like it's in Lee's chest, and like, don't forget your sword. You're gonna need that later. The fucking brick falls and shatters it, and like, okay, I guess you lost your sword. Then later she's like, my sword's back.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
Sword.
It's right there.
Did that castle just rebuild itself?
Yeah, but
yes, don't unstab Lee.
But I feel like for me, like, D represents, I think, my first real foray into like what I liked about vampires. Even though he's a vampire, he's a daywalker, he's a half breed. He's got a lot of similarities to Vincent from Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, I never played 7.
He's the like spoiler for 7. He's the guy you find in a coffin who's acting very much like a vampire at a certain point, and he's a complete side character you can miss if you don't go to the right town and go get him. But it's like, I think this was as a young child, effectively, this was like my first foray of like vampires don't have to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
That they can have depth of story, because I hadn't been exposed to Bram Stoker yet, because Bram Stoker's Dracula hadn't even been released when the first time I saw it, because I saw this probably like 93, 94, and somewhere in that like range.
Yeah,
Is
probably
when
saw it in 95.
So I had seen it pretty young, and I just remember watching it a ton. And so this is what I remember.
It's also one of the early times when you'd have that, like, hero who's got the dark side.
Yes.
Because, like, when Doris is, like, trying to love on him and he's, like, tempted to, like, bite her.
Yeah.
He's like, no, get away from me. Be gone, Satan.
He's kind of an anti-hero. He's likable.
No, he's a hero.
He's a hero. He's not.
But he's just got that dark thirst or whatever.
Yeah. I've always liked his hand, too.
I'm so confused by the hand.
The hand makes no sense. I wonder if he's mutated over the years, and that's what, because they specify that, but maybe the manga goes into why he has a cursed hand. I'm gonna eat the dirt.
I know.
I also don't understand.
I know that Toyo Ishida watches these videos. If you wouldn't mind,
Yeah, just get down in the comments. Tell us why. Why does T have a weird face hand?
Or if anyone who's actually read the manga.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie 20 plus years ago, and I've seen the Bloodlust movie 20 plus years ago. I've never looked into it. Tell me what the fuck's going on, please.
Like, we discussed briefly what I remember of Bloodlust, and I'm not going to go into here, but, like, I don't even know if what I'm remembering is accurate anymore.
I remember so little about Bloodlust.
I just remember, I think that the 2 times I've watched it, I think you were there both times.
Possibly.
The first one was definitely.
The first one definitely.
But I think we watched, you might have been there the time I watched it, or attempted to watch it at the old house.
Maybe. 'Cause, I know I've got it on DVD. You have this one on
Yes, I have
Bloodlust on DVD too, right?
Yeah. Because I bought it because I was like, I love Vampire Hunter D. Because I do. I have this lovely bust statuette. Yeah. He is one of my favorite iconic characters from anime. I don't have a large repertoire of anime that I really enjoy watching. This is one of them. That's why I rate it highly. I have a lot of fond memories of it, and this is a character I particularly like. I also really like vampires, as anybody who knows me knows. So
it's also very, very highly stylized and detailed. It's almost an exact replica of D from the show, because this one talks as much as he did.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
do we want to do vampire traditions?
Yes.
Yes. We'll run through that pretty quick.
Because we don't know a lot of them. Blood dependency.
Yes.
It seems so.
Immortality.
Yes.
Physical prowess.
Yes.
Yeah. Magical prowess.
Yes.
Yeah. Magical blood.
Well, I mean, these
vampire blood heals, acts as a drug, makes vampires.
So
we really don't know.
Snake women were getting like straight up blitzed off of him. So,
but we don't know. Well, we don't know. Were they really biting him, or were they absorbing his life energy through his skin? It felt more like the latter.
So we didn't learn how they make
undeterminable.
Vampires. Yeah. So not shown. Nigh unkillable.
Yes.
Yeah. Shape shifting.
Well, nigh unkillable. I mean, the dude almost like took his ass out with.
He got staked in the heart.
Well, staked in the heart, but I mean, he went down with a flash grenade and then staked in the heart.
Yeah.
But
and then he came back to life.
Still didn't die.
And then his hand ate dirt, so he came back to life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Shape shifting.
Not really.
We didn't see any of that. Distinct appearance.
Yes.
Coffin dependency.
Not that we saw.
We never saw any of that. Monstrous / predatory. Yeah.
Yes.
Tragic figure.
I mean,
D
is one of the first ones I think we've had since Bram Stoker's that we could say was a tragic figure.
Yeah. Randy.
Oh, yeah. Because Magnus Lee was like, I just want her as a plaything for a few hundred years, and now I'll just kill her like I did your mom.
Every 50 or 100 years, I like to bang one out for a little bit till I get bored of him, and then I murder him, just like your mom. Thanks, Dad.
Say it ain't so. No, it's so.
No, it's so. Well, I'm not going to let you marry her. I'm just going to put you in timeout.
It'll dirty the blood.
I want that timeout. I want to be able to put my kid in that kind of timeout. You just hang there and think about what you did.
And contemplate in this energy field.
Go back to your coffin. Oh, Dad.
Hierarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunlight weakness. We actually never figured that out.
No, they didn't. Because, we never saw the count, except at night. But all the vampires we saw in the day, we never even saw Lamako during the day, even though she could have been. Because
we only saw one real vampire in this movie, too, because it was Magnus.
Well, the doctor got turned.
Oh, that's true.
But we only saw him at that point at night. So, really, the count, and I would say it alludes to that there probably is, but there's no confirmation. Because even D, whenever he's out in the sun,
he's got that hat,
and he's always got his face covered, so you only really get the slit of his eyes.
Yeah,
he wears gloves.
He does the spike maneuver from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. As long as there's a trench coat over your skin, you're fine.
Yeah.
I would say yes.
It's implied. I think
it's implied, but we never actually see it.
Well, I think that's what happened with the little flashy thing that like brought him to his knees. I think that was supposed to be like simulated sunlight or something like that.
I think when he was flashing the light off of he had like a little sunlight refractor, I think, when he was going through the tunnel the first time he went to the castle.
To spook off all the demons or whatever.
But, I mean, that's about the only thing I can think of. I feel like it's implied, but it's undeterminable.
Implied, but not really alluded to.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that answer when we watch the next Vampire Hunter D movie. Because I guarantee it's coming.
I might watch Bloodlust.
I know. We'll get there.
Holy Weakness. I'm going to assume so because they kept pulling off.
Yeah, there were crosses everywhere.
And they would send like the werewolf first to pull off the cross, and like the doctor pull off the cross.
Yeah, and
then the sheriff had the star that also had a cross in it.
Yeah,
so.
I felt very much like holy was a weakness.
Forbidden, we never actually see.
The only time that it would have been an issue was with the doctor after he was turned, and she let him in.
Yeah,
but we don't know if he wouldn't have been able to come in otherwise because she had traps up anyways.
Yeah.
So, unknown.
Yeah, unknown. They never show it. Water Weakness, they never show that one.
No, I don't think they did.
It was another one of those ones where he had a drawbridge, castle that had a drawbridge, and surrounded by the ocean water. So I would say no to that one.
Yeah, probably not. But he also never left.
No, he did. He did at the very first scene.
In the very beginning, he's outside, but we never see him. He might have gotten in via the dirt in a carriage for all we know.
Yeah.
No, it's so there are. If you watch till the end of the movie, after the credits, there's the scene where Doris is like running, and then he hears that Doris is out there. They get the cross of her, and then he goes from the castle to a thing, and the entire time he's running across the bridge, he's going, ooh, 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 and then he gets to the other side, drains her. It hurts.
Is there actually even water underneath it? I know he's got that big. I thought he just had a castle and a pillar.
I thought it was like just a chasm. I didn't feel like there was.
There was a castle, but then there was that big steel-looking thing that was up that D ran with the horse and like jumped. So there was a drawbridge that dropped down.
Was it over
just
over
bridge
chasm?
over water, or was it just a bridge over a chasm? I don't know if they ever showed it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's under. We can't determine.
Yeah, we can't determine. Same with Silver Weakness. They never show a reflection. They never show photographs. They never show silver, and they never show garlic either for the garlic weakness. Yeah. This one doesn't get a lot because they don't really explain anything.
No, and how much of what we saw was also because they mutated too with humanity. It's weird.
And how many vampires have talkie hands?
Doris's whip was dope.
Her whip was cool. Unfortunately, they wasted it on a character that I was just like, no.
I like that she went into being a brigand in the beginning of the movie. You some kind of weak knee or hunter? Psh, give me your sword. Beat it. Oh, you're powerful. Oh, please help me. No, it's like, okay.
Sleep with me.
Because I was just testing you to see if you were badass or not. You didn't look very badass. I wrapped you up with my whip, and then you kicked, just kind of like...
So some dude, basically traveling across the country, trying to get to his house, has a sword on his back. She's like, are you a hunter? Are you just ready? Leave me your sword. He's like, but it's a family heirloom. Well, I wrapped you up with my fucking whip. You have to leave it. Get out of here, you pussy. He's just like, oh.
No. Doris is just like, I've never been a fan of hers, even from when I was younger.
I mean, if she was more active throughout maybe the rest of the movie, maybe it should be okay. Because she started off hunting that little monster or whatever. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then her horse gets bit in the neck, and you're like, oh shit, I guess the horse is gonna die. Then the horse gets bit in the neck again. You're like, oh shit, I guess that horse is gonna die. Then they got a horse later, so I don't even know.
What was that?
Did Luke just show back up, or was that a different horse?
It was a different horse.
I assume so.
There's a real circle of life there in the beginning. It's like monster eats horse, werewolf eats horse, vampire eats Doris. The circle of life.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really feel like I have much more to say.
It was good. It was pretty. There's a lot of filler.
If you like action, I think you would enjoy it. There's a lot of you have quiet moments that lead up to action sequence. Quiet moment leads up to action sequence.
Well, guys, there's only one last question to ask. Does it suck?
I think it's in the middle. It nibbles.
Yeah, it nibbles.
I say it sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got one suck and two nibbles. At least we didn't say it blows.
It doesn't blow. It doesn't bite.
No.
I think if you like anime, I think it's worth going back to watch something from the 80s.
Yeah.
And kind of see.
It'll definitely feel like the 80s.
It will. But you kind of see like back in the day of like hand-drawn animation where things were expensive. So you don't really draw your protagonist moving a whole lot. Because that costs money. You just kind of show them like...
And you reuse a lot of scenes.
Yeah.
Like spiders.
Yeah, and the hand sucking.
Yeah, the spiders coming out the dude's back, that was like totally reused footage. But Jesus, that was gross.
So Vampire Hunter D may or may not suck, but his hand sure sucks.
It totally sucks.
Sucks in spiders.
So actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I gotta say. So when his hand ate dirt to wake him up, when he woke up, was he like...
Who ate dirt?
And then when his hand sucked up the spiders, was he like, no, stop it? Like, gross, ew. Like, that's fucking gross. Like, can he taste what his hand... Like,
Nobody knows. I hope he doesn't wipe with that hand, though.
shit.
Or maybe he wanted to because he does a little extra cleaning.
D, why do you always resist your nature? You know you wanted to kiss that girl. No, don't do that, D. No. Oh, man.
So I can tell you, why don't you sleep with her? I don't need to.
What? Wow.
All right. Well, on that lovely note, gentle viewers, I think we're going to say goodnight.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Wow.